there we go. We live in this boy. Make
Hey.
it happen. Make it happen. I know we live on every platform but IG right now. So y'all, we just welcome to Make It Happen Monday with Coach K and Dstints, man. Kristen Erickson, man, and Daryl Stinson. We Kristen, how long we known each other?
2 years?
2 years. 2 years, man. Wow. Is that true? Has it been 2 years?
Almost, yeah,
Wow.
almost.
Wow. Well, you know that you meet some people sometime and we call them divine appointments. Type in the chat divine appointments if you've ever experienced that. What's up, coach? Who's this? Who's this? What's coach is this? I can't even see coach. I don't know. Drop your name in here. I know we know each other from somewhere. I can't. Coach Hamas. I don't know who that is. You got to talk first names to me, my friend. And by the way, when you're tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. We know if you're watching this replay, hashtag replay. This is the Make It Happen Monday live stream with Coach K and D Stints. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what that is. We want to go live to support entrepreneurs, coaches, and business professionals who are out there on the front lines making it happen all the time. And the thing is when you make it happen for so many people, when you pour out to so many other people, the one thing that doesn't happen as often as it should, as deep as it should, is people don't pour into you. Everybody got their hands out like this, like what you got, what you got. You need some people to pour some water in. Somebody type water in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. So we wanted to just go live and I think the thesis of this idea was me and Kristen be getting in these honest, raw conversations, and it's like about the coaching industry, about what we're synergizing the episode around health, wealth, and relationships. And it was like, I don't know if you had a conversation so good, you like, man, other people need to be in on this. We were having too much of that we was like, other people got to be in on this. And so that's why we wanted to create this space to really talk about these three buckets: health, wealth, relationships, so that we can begin to talk about what we see as working, what's not working, what we're learning from clients, what we're hearing from the rooms that we're in. I mean, I'm in a lot of rooms on stages, I run my own events. Same thing with Kristen. And so we're really just trying to bring that conversation to this global platform. So for those of you who don't know me, sorry I'm talking for a long time. My name is Daryl. I have been a speaker for about 12 years and a consultant for probably, I would say, maybe like 7 or 8. I was a pastor for 7 years in there. I've always done both. I've always been, in the ministry and the marketplace, if you will. For the past 5 years, I've been back full time entrepreneurship, and I tell people that I really haven't preached, but I've always been a pastor. I have a pastor's heart. I'm married. I got 5 children. I love people, and we help people to get their messages out in the world. Kristen was first our TEDx client, and then became a private client of mine, and now also a collaborator, a partner. And we wanted to. Uh, we want to synergize our energy and be able to offer the best of what we have to say to the world. So I know I'm over my 2 minute intro, Kay, but it's
You're
okay because I hit live and I
you're
can
fine.
do that. But why don't you let the people know a little bit about you, and I guess what's your heart for even doing this right now? Like, it's Memorial Day. We'll definitely make sure we honor that. Everyone who has given their lives to sacrifice for our freedom. And we know that there's still work to be done. Not everything's closed. Not every body's off work. And so we want to live in awareness of all things. So definitely honor those who have served. And I've got many family in the military. Thank God I can't think of one person that I've lost. But my heart does go out to everyone who's really reflecting. And today's not the day that you're tuning in. So it's okay. And we just want to know our hearts are with you. So, Kay, I'll let you intro yourself and then just talk about like what do you want to get into? What do you want to share today?
Daryl, I'm so glad you mentioned the word freedom because today is that day that we do celebrate freedom. Yet there was a time in my life and in many of my clients' lives, and I'm sure your life as well,
Mm-hmm.
where we didn't feel free.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much anxiety around what is next, or maybe there was some lack of financial freedom or lack of time freedom or
Mhm.
lack of balance freedom.
Mhm.
And it's been my mission now. I've been a peak performance coach for 30 years across 3 different industries, and it's really that mission to help people become free in their health, wealth, and their relationships. Because when you're out there in the world and you feel free to just be you, and you have all these amazing gifts to share with the world, this is how you make the greatest impact. So you are able to leave a legacy that outlives you. But I don't believe that that's possible without having these levels of freedom in your life.
I agree. I agree. I totally agree. And I'm curious, there's a lot of talk about AI right now. And I was at your retreat, Make It Happen retreat. What was that? Was that last week?
Last week.
Oh gosh, time is flying. It felt like it was like 3 weeks ago. Geez. So last week, dang, is that last week?
Last
So
week, yeah.
I was saying,
I'm still recovering and I'm still not unpacked.
and it's funny because I was at the first one. This was the second one, or was this third?
No, this is
Third,
the third.
third,
Third,
third.
yeah.
So I've been in all of them,
Yeah.
and this is the first one where you made space to really talk about AI. And I know
Mhm.
originally you had a trainer, and then you had to share some stuff that you had learned. But 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 what I wanted to bring up is like, man, what is your thoughts about the pressure to adapt to AI? There's people that are like, if you're not adapting, you're getting left behind. Oh, and by the way, this is when we talk about health, wealth, and relationships. We always try to ask ourselves the question, what are you doing right now in those areas that's working, not working? And I just think AI is just such a top of mind conversation for so many people. And I'm curious to you, like, which side of the fence do you sit on? Are you like team human, team AI, team hybrid? Where do you stand and why?
Team hybrid for
Okay,
sure. And
okay,
this is why.
okay.
Because if we know that time and money are not the same thing, we can always make more money, but we cannot create more time. AI is now allowing those of us who actually, the buffalo and the cow, the buffalo is the one that goes towards the storm. That might be really, really scary. This is a very overwhelming time for people to learn AI. And because it's moving so fast, the latest data that I've heard is people that stick their head in the sand and they're not addressing it for right in the moment. For every 3 months you do not learn where we are going, you are actually falling 5 years behind. Now personally, that scared the what out of me at that
Mm-hmm,
moment. And then I
mm-hmm,
realized, wow, this is an incredible opportunity
mm-hmm,
to implement AI into the systems and the processes within my own business as well as my client's business. So you can remove the client or yourself out of the business as the bottleneck. Because if AI is helping you as a strategic partner, now we have more freedom to communicate and collaborate and create with other people who are going to help us grow our businesses together. So I am absolutely team hybrid, and not at the expense of losing your voice. Not at the expense of losing your voice, which is why it's so important to learn how to use AI the right way. So that's just one of the things that we tapped at our last retreat, how to really use it the right way so it captures your voice without losing who you are. It's just helping you become more of you. And I was listening to a podcast a couple days ago that said, as creatives, sometimes the hardest thing to stare at is a blank page.
mm-hmm,
So the way I utilize it, and I help my clients utilize it, is we're going to help get it started on the page. So we're not staring at the blank page, wondering, what do I do next?
mm-hmm,
So when we have that little Kickstarter, it helps you get it started, the little kickstart, but now the human comes in with their own divine alignment to say, what else am I going to put on this page that AI has just helped me start within my voice? For
mm-hmm,
sure.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love
Good.
it. And it's
I
fun.
love it. I'm curious, y'all. Are you team hybrid? Are you team AI? Are you team human? Um, you know, I think most entrepreneurs are gonna say hybrid. Like I think everybody straddles that fence. But if we had to choose, I should eliminate an option.
Mm.
If you had to choose, would you go team AI or team human?
Team human all the way. No questions about it. No questions about it. but those who
Let me ask the
those
question.
who don't adapt, you're gonna.
Let me ask the question in a more controversial way.
Okay, fine.
Okay, if you had to choose who did your research, are you team AI or team human?
Team AI because it's faster and more thorough.
Oh, oh, what? Team AI for the research?
Well, define research.
Oh, okay. I mean, for me, I research statistics in my subject matter expertise. I research business analytics and data and market analysis. What do you think, Team AI?
And how long does that take you to do that? Since we cannot get time back, I'm just curious. I'm
Okay.
just curious.
All right. So, as an example, if I started, so I got a new speech I've been creating, and how long has it taken me to do some of the research? Okay. So, let's say in the last 30 days, 7 to 12 hours.
Per day?
No, for the month. 7 to 12
Okay.
hours of research just for a singular speech. It's not all research across all boards, but about 7 to 12 hours this month.
So what if AI
Hmm.
could have done the same exact research and even then some
Hmm.
in an hour or less? And now you have more time as the human
Okay.
to actually dive deep to extract your genius. Yes, I'm
Mhm.
shouting that out for you right
All right.
now.
You got it. Jackson
Okay.
Genius Retreat, baby, coming
Yeah.
up June 4th through 7th. You should type retreat in the chat if you want to get in. We actually have 2 seats left. I think I have
Go. Don't
another
even think
phone
about
call
it.
this
Just
week.
go. It's
I was just
amazing.
thinking about do I have a call this week on that? Anyways, what I love, y'all, is we just confirmed a new guest trainer at our retreat. My guy, we're gonna have a masterclass meal with John Mediana about building your content team.
Mm.
And if you haven't watched our episode that we released on me and John on the Seeding Greatness podcast, go listen to it. I told John after we recorded that podcast, I was like, yo, something's different about that. He was like, yeah, for real, for real. And I was like, you know what it was? We were not holding anything back. We weren't holding anything back.
Mhm.
And by the way, like that's one of the challenges I see with people who are trying to get traction as a coach, as a thought leader in the industry. They're so worried about people stealing their intellectual property and they're so worried about having everything all set up the right way that they're not just like if I give it all the way, it's like give it all away. Serve people. You have no attention. Intellectual, nobody's trying to rip you off. Now when you start getting stuff, and I'm not saying that that's not valuable. I'm not telling you not to protect your assets. All my own legal people are like, no. I'm saying don't let that get in the way of your service. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And so when I looked at that podcast, I'm like, man, we did not hold anything back. We weren't like, that's only available in our this program or this container or for my private. We were like, here's the game, the blueprint. Go execute. So go listen to that, number one. And then come into the retreat if you really want private access. And what I like is like, at a retreat, it's not like a conference. It's not like he's coming to give you 3 points. It's a custom fitting to your business. Like I was talking to him about coming to the retreat, solving my content problem. He's like, you need a shredder. I'm like, I don't want a shredder. And I was talking about the season of business that I'm in. And a lot of times the editing demands for our coaching business, Chris, okay, and I'm like, I have an editor. He's dope. I'm like the mind. So, anyways, he was helping me solve that. So it's different than just like, oh, here's 7 keys to running a great content team. No, it's like, no, let's talk about your content team, okay, or lack thereof,
Mhm.
so that we can talk about your systems around that or whatever you have to help you move it forward. That's the point of a retreat. So I'm excited about that, y'all, and I hope that you, regardless if you can come out or not, take the space to pay closer attention to the impact of your own influence. So to answer, what's been working for me lately, it's that, Kristen. It is that I've been paying way closer attention to where I'm actually making the most impact or not.
Mhm.
And I said this at your retreat actually. I said I value spaces where I can be my full, authentic, express self,
Yeah.
and not the version of myself that environment is comfortable with. Because
Mhm.
I've learned that if I'm a version of myself in an environment just because I want to be, it's not always, it's like be mindful. Like I'm overly mindful of their needs, their preferences. And if I'm overly that way over here, it's like they lose a sense of my power and my impact. And I've learned that I could be in front of 1,000 people and be a 75% of version of myself, and I would make far less impact than if I'm with 12 people and I can be 100% of myself. The
Yep.
expression of me has a greater ripple effect. You ever throw a bigger rock in a pond? Some of people are throwing a little baby pebble in the pond, Kristen, a little baby pebble. But throw a big rock at the make it happen retreat. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can be whatever. Say the truth. They was leaning in. They was like, so, no, don't be missing nothing out here. We want come on, bring it. What? Even Ian in the corner was over there like, okay, yeah, I got it. And I
But
value
Daryl,
what I can do. Come on, holler at me because I will keep
what
going.
but you're I love this because this is where you and I really bounce off of
Oh,
each other.
I
And
know.
what you're talking about is energy is contagious.
Yes.
And more importantly, aligned energy is what
Mm-hmm.
causes true transformation.
Yeah.
It's one thing to go to something and be motivated and excited and oh, I'm pumped up versus when you are in that for us, of course, it's the divine alignment. So people feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
I've told you this a million times. Your retreat last year was truly what cracked my egg open to say, you know what? I love performance. It's so fun. It's I grew up on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
However, not at the expense of being so glued to a script that you're losing the authenticity of the energy that's inside of someone. So I
Mm-hmm.
always tell people if someone compliments you with this,
Mm-hmm.
wow, I love your energy.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Mm-hmm.
the highest compliment that you can ever, ever, ever receive because
Yep.
you can't fake that.
Don't fake
You
it.
can't.
You
You
can't.
cannot fake it.
You can't.
So by your retreat, my retreat, I'm sure there's so many other beautiful retreats around the world that when you create these safe spaces for
Mm-hmm.
people to step in, the weird ones, as I say, the weird ones that
Weird ones.
maybe we didn't fit in, or like our pastor says, we have an uncommon calling because we don't really fit in anywhere else except in our own, arenas that
I know.
embrace that type of fully expressed energy to be very childlike. At the same time, you're learning highly professional business skills. But why can't we have fun and do that all at the same time? It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always have to be so darn serious. You have to go very, very deep before you can go high and wide. It doesn't go the opposite way. You got to go deep before you go high and wide. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just all about energy, all about alignment. And if it drains my energy and if it's out of my alignment, I respectfully decline. Being picky with time at this point in my life, I'm 51 years old, feeling like I'm getting started. However, my time is more limited than yours, Daryl. God, I mean, let's just assume that we both live to be 120. Let's just keep it at that. Okay. I'm further along the journey. So people think that they have more time than they really have, and they don't. So as you get older, you'll see you will definitely get even more picky with who you spend your time with and the environments that you place yourself in. Your environment, the people around you are either going to make or break you. There's no denying that. No denying that.
What you're saying is so true, man. And what came up for me when you were saying that, I was thinking about the 5 people I surrounded myself with. I just want to give people a practical thing that I did this year that was really helpful for me. In my cell phone, I would show you it, but I don't want you to see the people. But you can in my iPhone, if you got an Android, I don't know if you can do this on your Android, but you can pin your contacts, or I can pin up to 9 people up here at the top of my messages. Do you know that you can do that, Kristen?
Yes, I've seen it. I haven't done it, but yes, little sounds good. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so I pinned my top 9.
Mm,
And here's the key. Okay, the first time I did it, I pinned who I was actually texting the most
mm.
or calling or whatever, right, in my phone, and it was like, hold on, I gotta reshuffle the deck a little bit, and I'm over here talking a little bit too much in the round, you know. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, hold on, let me switch that up. And then so that was level one was like literally just like be wiser, Daryl. Okay, then second two was like,
Audit. It sounds like audit,
yep,
Daryl.
it was. Yep.
Hey.
Yeah, I heard you. I'm with you.
Yeah, you hear
And then it was
me.
like, it was like, then be strategic. So then I was like,
Elevate.
well, hold on. Where am I going?
Yeah.
What am I really trying to cultivate? Hey, when I pick up this phone and text and have a conversation with somebody,
Mm.
okay, what am I looking to give and receive in that conversation? Okay, giving and receiving is like a singular loop. Okay, even if your receiving is fulfillment, it's fine. Okay, but you got to be open to receive. By the way, some people give and they don't know how to receive. They don't even know how to receive a compliment. Okay, so in this top 9, so it went from number 1, can I just be wise? Can I go from like not being around people who are, not going where I'm going, not headed where I'm headed? How do I get around more people that was like my shuffle number 1. Shuffle number 2 was like, I'm already around a bunch of people that's headed where I'm headed. Now how do I get more strategic about where's my gaps and where's
Yep.
my gains? And so some of the people in here, I'm like, okay, they up here because I want to be more intentional about, yeah, I need to sow into that relationship. I need to seed into that relationship. Okay, because there's something intentional I'm trying to nurture within them and within me.
100%.
So that was a
Win-win.
really helpful thing for me. And when I started doing that, I was like, oh my God, like that's so much easier. And I can see it right here. Let me just stay up here at the top. The more I can stay here, look at my head. The more I can stay up here like this, the more I can keep my head on straight. And some of you got your head down like this.
May I get into that topic right now? Because before we went live today, I was thinking about this a lot.
Come on.
Based on what I see other entrepreneurs doing that is clearly self-sabotaging them. And I want to be able to help whoever is listening to this live or on a replay.
Mm-hmm.
If you can make this one shift, I promise you, your life and your business is going to go to the next level. 100% guarantee. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking at what other people are doing and focus on your assignment and what you are supposed to be doing.
It's too hard.
Because I hear
media.
so much. I hear so much imposter syndrome. I'm all of these insecurities and whether they understand that they're insecure. And I was guilty of it too. 100%. I used to be guilty of that. Looking at somebody else's thing and having a thought in my head that wasn't serving the higher meaning and the higher power and where we're really going with that. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to stop looking at everybody and everything and their mama and the kitchen sink and just focus on what am I creating here and how can I help my clients do the same thing to focus on where are you going? And if the things that you are looking at, the things that you are listening to, the hear no evil, see no evil, right? All of this, if those do not align with where you are going, stop it. Stop it, because that's where that self-sabotage comes in. And then they don't feel confident. They don't feel worthy. They don't feel ready. No, everybody is in a different place in their journey. And it's okay to be messy. It's okay to come on makeup or no makeup. And y'all have seen me go live without makeup looking like a hot mess, or okay, I did all right today, whatever. So what? I'm the same person, whether it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm dead tired to the world or here. So when the people that are listening to this, when you focus on what message are you responsible to get out into the world to help the people that are waiting for you to help them,
Mm-hmm.
You will be so dialed in, and the progress that you will be able to make, as I say, 1% better every single day, because you are eliminating the distractions. And that's really what it goes down to. Eliminate those darn distractions. So, Daryl, these days, I come from the finance world, and I say the number one greatest asset right now that is worth billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
The number one biggest, baddest asset that's going to make billions of dollars and massive amounts of impact is focus.
Mm.
The people who have focus and are utilizing their time, utilizing their gifts, staying dialed into that message, staying dialed into the assignment, the people that are focused the most right
Mhm.
now are going to be the ones that make this awesome freaking quantum leap, which makes me so excited.
Why
People that,
why are you saying focus? Like what makes you say that?
oh, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Most entrepreneurs get very excited when they see the new shiny object. Oh my gosh, it's bright and it's shiny. And this is so exciting. And even though I have 1,900 tabs open, I see the next new shiny object. So I'm going to go search that shiny.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, nothing is getting finished.
Yeah.
Nothing is getting finished.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you can focus,
Mm-hmm.
Daryl, you already know. I pain for people that maybe they bounce from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. They haven't given themselves enough time to actually succeed and fail with what they are creating. If people are afraid of failure, woo,
Mm-hmm.
good luck. We,
Mm.
we, we have to be willing to not necessarily fail, but fumble. I don't like the word fail because you don't fail, you just learn. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe you fumble, like, oh, that didn't go as well as I thought it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do we pivot to make it better? But
Mm-hmm.
within the same vein, in the
Mm-hmm.
same lane.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
I know.
I encourage that if you're listening to this live or on a replay, if
Mm-hmm.
you know that it's your divine assignment to go help someone get healthier in their nutrition and in their weight training, if it's your assignment to help them create a business that they don't even know what the business might be, if that is your assignment, if your assignment is to help someone become more confident or become a better speaker, you've got to stay in that vein much longer than you think. So
Mm-hmm.
if we want, let's
Yeah.
just talk physiology because that's
That's
my
good.
background,
That's
right?
good.
If we think
Mm-hmm.
about when you stub your toe,
Mm-hmm.
it takes so much time for that pain to go from your toe to your brain. And then once it
Mm-hmm.
goes from your toe to your brain, you're like, oh, that really hurts. And then it takes
Mm-hmm.
a while for the pain to come off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, well, you didn't break your toe, hopefully not. So now we just go and we step and we walk again on the same path. The
Mm-hmm.
people that are switching, bouncing, ding, 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 every 3 months, this is why you're not making progress.
Mm-hmm.
So make the decision. Where are your gifts? Where are your strengths? And who can you help the most? Is there a very large population with the people that you can help the most there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that have the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in
Mm-hmm.
that lane, and where is your expertise and your secret sauce that you put on it that you do very differently than anyone else?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
No, this is good. I'm glad you're bringing this up because I was thinking about how much of this sounds like there's always levels to the game. And I
Mhm.
was thinking about the word clarity was coming up to my mind, and I was thinking because you said focus, and a lot of people struggle to focus because they struggle with clarity on what they should focus on,
Correct.
and that can be true if you're just trying to figure it out and getting going, but that can also be true as a high level leader who has executed so much that you've evolved. Like
Yeah.
evolution is a real thing in our human experience. Like, let me say it this way: the Daryl I am today is not the Daryl I was yesterday. It sure was not the Daryl I was 5, 10 years ago. Can I get an amen, somebody? Like,
Amen.
so when I think about who I become, each time I've evolved, I evolved past the level of view of my current self.
Mhm.
I hope I didn't lose anybody there. Let me say it this way: there's been times as a speaker, I've told the same stories for so long that I didn't just get tired of them. I
Mhm.
realized I had a different perspective on them. Like
Yeah.
I had told them so much, I gained so much insight from the story that it lost its hollowness. And I thought, as a person who was preaching and as a person who was telling a lot about my story of overcoming suicide, that I had lost my sort of innocence in my zeal, in my reverence, in my purity, in my compassion, in my empathy. And because I couldn't access the authentic tears that used to well up and come out of me when I used to go there. And I
Mhm.
realized something, Kay. I ain't lose my heart. I
No.
had evolved past my perspective. And I was telling a story from an old perspective. Oh God. And so I needed clarity as a high level executor, not just as a beginner. And I think that the pride keeps some high level leaders stuck because they're like, oh, they hear words like clarity or alignment. And they're like, I'm aligned. I got clarity. And I'm like, not on the highest version, not on the evolved version, not on how you've overcome, you don't. And and if you don't have people in your life to be like, yo, you smarter than what you think, you deeper than what you look like. Hey, that was saucier than what you knew. Like
Mhm.
that's what you need because when you have that, you're like, oh, how do I now integrate that part of what you just showed me? Because you're right, I am, but how do I put that into the earth? You know?
People don't know what they don't know. They
That's it.
forget the genius that's on the inside of them. And
Mhm,
because, I mean, listen, whether it's society, whether it's family, whether it's sometimes you already know they try to dim that light, and obviously faith
mhm,
based, the enemy, that's his biggest goal.
mhm,
How can he keep you from coming into your full expression? So, by having those people that will draw it out of you, I love that
mhm,
word. Let me say that again,
mhm.
draw it out of you.
Yep,
If you don't have people like that around you,
yep,
most people will be settling for mediocrity.
yep,
We see it all the time.
yep,
Versus when if just if
yep.
one person can see that little spark that is still on the inside of somebody who maybe has lost hope, maybe is frustrated, maybe just went through a divorce or is going through a divorce, or maybe just lost a job and is so discouraged. And they're like, what do I do next? But there's still a little spark there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's still a little spark. So you have to get in front of people who can still see that little spark to go, up. Here, let me just blow some oxygen on it. You
Yep.
ready? Let's go. It's time to go. And as coaches, Daryl, that is what we do.
Wow.
And that's what we love to do is where's this little spark? Where's that
Mhm,
spark? Because someone tried to dim their light.
mhm,
Someone tried
mhm,
to put it out, but it's not out, baby. In fact, I have to
mhm.
share this story really quick because it
Yeah, go
aligns with what
ahead.
we're talking about.
Mhm,
Very recently, we have a friend of ours in our circle that reached out not that long ago to say today was a really not a great day. And I said, well, why? And his wife, after 15 years, said, I want a divorce. I said, what? Why? Where did this come from? And it comes down to, she said, you aren't the person that I married 15 years ago. And all I
mm,
can think about was, well, thank God. Thank
mm,
God, because someone in the relationship
mhm,
evolved
mhm,
and the other person didn't. So if you are in a relationship for 15 years and y'all ain't changing,
mhm,
if let me just put it here.
mm,
If your relationship, your business, if it's not growing, it is dying.
mm.
There's no in between. In between is complacency. In between is mediocrity. So if you are in a relationship where all y'all are aligned and going to the right places and always evolving and always right, I mean, I am with DJ, you are with Britt. We are absolutely, let's go, right? Versus Personally, I was in my previous marriage that was not like that. DJ's previous marriage was not like that. So if one person grows and the other one doesn't, this is where the misalignment occurs. You have to grow together. That goes in business. It goes in personal relationships. And there has to be two things present for that to happen. Number one, trust.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't trust that person,
Mm-hmm.
as a coach, as a mentor, as a spouse, as a friend, why are you even spending time there? No.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two goes down to respect. Your spouse, your business partner, your whomever,
Mm-hmm.
they bring something to the table that you don't bring,
Mm-hmm.
which is why together you bring the secret powerful sauce. Because the combination, you know the story of the Clydesdales, Daryl?
No, what's the story of Clydesdale?
Oh, this is a great story. And I would give credit where credit is due, but I couldn't tell you who I heard it from originally. Most people would think when you go to 6th Avenue in New York City, if you have two Clydesdales on the carriage, that it's double the power to ride your little butt through Central Park.
Okay.
And it's not. It's something like 8 times or 10 times the power. Maybe, I think it's even more. The point of it is,
okay, I got this.
It's not double the power.
Yeah.
It's exponential the power.
Yes.
It's exponential, which is why when people hire mentors and coaches and come to retreats where they feel safe, this is why people end up making a quantum leap. Period. End of story.
I know.
Selfish plug, but it's the truth.
It is.
It's the truth. It's the truth. I know I did. I made a quantum leap from last year to this year by coming to your retreat, Daryl Stinson and Brittany Stinson. Yes, I did. And I will preach that to the highest hills. Y'all need to, if you want to be a speaker and you want to really speak from your heart and your true authentic being, please go to Seeding Greatness.
Well, let me jump in there because like yes, and seedinggreatnessretreats.com, seedinggreatnessretreats.com. And like, here's what it's so funny. I had a couple calls and it was like, here's the problem with me is, and maybe I just got to get better at sales, but I don't be selling. I just be attracting and I be going and inviting. And if they don't want to go, then I just keep going, you know? And so, you know, but so a couple of the things I got 2 buckets of responses for some of the calls that I've had. And I had to have a ton, but I had a decent amount. Can't remember, one was like, this is beneath me. This is like people just getting started. And then some other people were like, oh man, like it's either they thought it was beneath them or they were like it was like ends of the spectrum. Either I'm just getting started and I feel like I'm not ready yet, or I'm already here and I feel like this is for people who are just getting started. And it's like, what I try to tell people is like, hey, listen, I solve both problems at the retreat. It's one problem. It is I have a message and I have a ecosystem that fuels that message, or that message fuels. Okay, so I have a message. Okay, notice I didn't say speech. I have a message. My message fuels my ecosystem. So your ecosystem could be a speech, a book, a course, same old, or it could be company 1, company 2, company 3, company 4, company 5. Okay, or it can be your speech, company 1, partnership, collab 2, investment portfolio manager 3. Like, but how you think about it, why you care, why you chose that versus this, the synergy of that is your message. It's what you stand for. It's who you are. It's your expression. And the better you get at being that, articulating that, flowing in that, oh, you see what I'm doing? Hey. Hey. The more you get better at playing the song of you. That's why, Kristen, that thing I did at your retreat was fire. That was just for you, girl. Oh my God, y'all. I don't know, what did I call it? 7 phases of something. 7 phases of, I don't know.
Finding your voice. Finding your voice.
Thank you. 7 phases of finding your voice. And
I
said to think about every phase as a string of the instrument of you. And that when you go through these phases, you start to learn how to play another string on the inside of you. because the more your audience, the more we, the world, can experience the full song of you, the more we can all start to look like what the
Make it
world is
happen.
supposed to
The
be
more we can all
looking
make it
like.
happen.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you. So we need
100%.
you, brother. We need you, sister. We need you, Drew. We need you, Shelly. We need you, Rick. We need you to be you, do you in the world. But how can you be you and do you if you don't know you? And
Who you
remember, there's
are.
a spectrum. You're just starting out. You got to be like, who am I? Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. When I transitioned from sports, I didn't know who I was. I'm like, who am I? That's why I wrote the book, Who Am I After Sports? But then there's a level where you know who you are and you're executing and you're doing at a high level, and you need other people to read the greatness that you just can't see because God wired it that way so that you wouldn't become prideful. So he had to take a part of your sight away so that you have to lean on somebody else to get the insight. Okay? And they got to reflect what they see in you, because sometimes you don't see how dope you are, even if you know you dope. Okay? You just don't know where at, why so, how come. And that is what I would focus on if I were you in 2026. I would focus on how dope you are, who you are. I would focus on what you're actually bringing to the world, because you can't fill an assignment if you aren't aware of the person who it was assigned to. And we got a lot of people that want to launch businesses, but they don't know themselves. We got a lot of people that want to be coaches, but they don't know their assignment. And they're so busy trying to build a business instead of be a being, that they're going to build something that they can't carry the weight of because they don't have the internal infrastructure and alignment to hold it.
Business is a spiritual game. Business is a spiritual game. Whew. If you are really building something big that you know in your heart is going to impact millions of people, not just a couple hundred, get ready for the attacks. Yeah. Which is why the tortoise and the hare, literally. I was guilty of it. Oh, was I guilty of it? I want to get there fast. Let's do this fast. Which was cool. And then I burnt myself out. So I'm like, cool, we got to the finish line fast. But now I have no energy to keep going. So if you are building something big and you want to build something big, consistency wins all the time. 1% per day, going towards keeping the main thing. And understanding, I was just listening to this message this morning, which is so dope. If it takes you longer than you thought, this is the development period. This is the period where you're in transition. However, this is the period where we all must be developed in order to handle the success that you will achieve if you just stick to it. But if you get it too fast, look at how many athletes, Daryl. Look at how many athletes, not as much anymore as back in the day, but athletes and artists that maybe they signed a 30 to 50 to $100 million contract. And in a matter of 5 years or less, they're bankrupt, broke, and stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck, as Myron would say, right? So if you get it too fast, you're not going to be able to handle it. And there's got to be something that we're supposed to be learning if we are in this developmental phase. Like personally, I'll be very transparent. I said to you and my other mentor about a year ago, maybe 6 months ago even, I said, I want to become a better leader. Here's the areas that I struggle in. I want to become a better leader. What do I have to do? Where I want you as my mentor, help me see my blind spots. I want to be coached. And I would encourage anybody that has a coach, you've got to be coachable. None of us are going to grow if we are not coachable. However, let me just make this point. I have had mentors and coaches before. We all have. that did not have our best interest in play. They did not carry our heart and our empathy and our, especially as women, we just have different emotions. We do. We feel things more. Men are problem solvers, women are feelers. So as if you're a male coach, I would encourage you to treat women a little bit differently with our emotions because we go through a lot of stuff. And same thing as a woman coach, when I'm personally coaching men, it's a different conversation that I'm having with a woman. I mean, we do think and feel differently, and it's not one or the other is better or worse. It's just what it is.
What I would
It's
say is my perspective is that women innately have like more controls on the feelings. It's like if I have like the feelings and I got like 70 buttons, it's like women got like 291. And it's like, and so because I notice I coach a lot of women, and I'd be like, on it a lot. I'm a feeler and I feel deeply, and I'd be like on it, and then they'd be looking at me like this, like I'm like, hold on, what am I not? What do I? Oh, hold on, what did I miss? What did I say? Hold on, hold up, you know, and,
I'm out.
because and I women, that's another thing. Women don't always know their own superpower. They don't know that they
No.
got to master feels. They want me to feel it, and I'm like, hey man, listen,
And
I'm
men
doing
too,
better.
Daryl. Men
Well,
too.
I agree. I
Men
agree. I
too.
agree. I agree. I
Men
agree.
too. Or sometimes, I personally have a couple that maybe the world has taught them to be tough and you got to hide things. And then a woman comes along and says, no, baby, you can let it out. It's
I know.
okay.
I
Allow
know.
yourself to feel the feels because that's where that real power comes from is
Yeah,
when men and women
I
can
agree.
feel the feels. So now you are authentic to the people that you're speaking with to say, hey, I feel you. I hear you.
I
I
agree.
see you. I
Hmm.
see you. That
Hmm.
that's that empathy piece that if we go back to AI versus human, yeah, human's going to win all day long over that because AI cannot feel that. It never will, ever.
Yeah. Let me say this one because this came up earlier, and I think this is important. I feel like I was supposed to share it. I wrote. Somebody should write this down. Don't let AI prescribe you. Don't let AI prescribe you a strategy beyond your season. I'm gonna say it again. Don't let
Yeah.
AI prescribe you a strategy beyond your season.
Yep.
Okay. Instead, ask God to prescribe you a strategy for your season. I'm gonna say it one time so somebody don't run off the railroad. Don't let AI prescribe you a strategy beyond your season.
Mhm.
Instead, let God prescribe you a strategy for your season. What I know is that a lot of people will go to AI and they're like, hey, act as a world class business coach, architect, this, Tom Ford, who, Elon Musk, act as if this, and give me marketing strategy, business plan, this, so that I can do this. And then now they got this strategy that they're like, oh, yeah, woo, 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 woo. No roof, no roof,
Ooh,
no roof is
the roof
on
is
fire.
on fire.
We'll do the
We
roof.
don't wanna let that burn.
Boy! And they like hype.
Uh,
And 2 weeks later, sweating, stressed. What's going on? You scaling beyond your season. You let AI prescribe you a strategy beyond your season instead of listening to God who could prescribe you a strategy for your season. And now
and
you got some big old plan and you're trying to execute because you think you can and you probably can. But you don't realize that everything you can do is not something you should do. And seasons, as Christian powerfully said, are about our development.
Mhm.
And God loves us so much that He will spend more time developing us so that we have what we need to handle what we don't know we're stepping into. I'm going to say that one more time. What we don't know we're stepping into. Because there is always going to be an element that we do not know. I need an amen. I need some claps. I need some emojis. because I think that people have to learn how to be okay with not knowing.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't know what's next. It's okay. Sometimes I done been in seasons where I had a lot of ideas that could have took us in a direction. But because I knew that God prescribed me a strategy for my season, I didn't get out of my season because it was uncomfortable. I stayed
Mm-mm.
in my pocket. Oh, wait on the Lord. You're gonna make me worship. That's why I'm having a worship night. A worship night. A worship night this Saturday for high level leaders who've been pouring out need to be poured into. And I knew that my strategy was gonna be Jesus because every time I need a strategy for my season, you know who I go to? Him.
Yeah.
I'm stressed out. I'm burned out. I'm like, I got to get a strategy for my season, for my situation. I need specifics, Lord. And He
Mm.
gives it to us always. If any of us need wisdom, just ask for it. That's what the scriptures say. Just ask. Just ask for
And
wisdom.
Daryl, I would love to add to this because you just brought up something that is so powerful of what you just said. There's a couple different keys and things that must happen in order for people to actually transform.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
one of them is just being in a place of dissatisfaction. They're just so dissatisfied. Like they're sick and tired of being sick and tired type of a situation, or
Yeah.
they've hit an emotional threshold where, let's say
Mm-hmm,
that they've been in that relationship way longer than they should. And then there's
mm-hmm,
a couple other keys that happen that, you're satiated, where maybe you've had, steak and lobster every single night for every single night, and now it's just not as whoop-de-whoop as it used to be. And then there's one other one that's slipping my mind right now.
mm-hmm,
However, I say all that to say, once those four things are actually happening, where people are sick and tired of being where they are,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
this door will open up where God says, okay, here's your window to
That's
change it. Are you going
good.
to jump
That's
through it? Are you going to jump
oh!
through it? Because if you're going to jump through it, you got to jump through it, but you have to understand that you're not going to have clarity. You just got to go.
Just
You
gotta
just got to
go.
go. So you can have faith. You're going to have faith, because faith is
Mhm.
believing in what we cannot see.
Come on
And
now.
if they don't jump through that little window right there, like, go, we got to jump, shoot, they're going to have to repeat that cycle all over again.
Oh, I
and
agree.
and it just, I think of times in my life, in your life, that you've described, and clients of mine that they've described. I'm like, oh, you're seeing, I spoke with a woman this morning who just became my client as a result of my retreat. Great girl. I'm going to shout her out in a minute because you should watch for her. And she said, I recognize the pattern. I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. And she said, you know what? She called me, left me this great message. She goes, I'm ready. What do I have to do? Let's go. I'm sick and tired of repeating this pattern over and over and over. I know this is my time. I've got to jump through that window. Let's go. Not knowing how is it going to end up? Where am I going? What am I doing? I just know, she said, I just know I have gifts to give to the world, and it's time to make it happen.
Mm.
So when you get to those moments where, why is this happening again? Why is this happening again? Why is this happening again? Who's the common denominator? You. I'm pointing at myself too. Before DJ. Here we are again. Bad
Mhm.
relationship. Oh, here we are again. Bad. I was like,
Mhm.
I'm out. Let me take 5 years off and get my
Mhm.
picker. I had a broken picker. I had a broken picker for relationships, right? Broken picker. And my mentor, who you'll meet in Franklin, Tennessee soon, Daryl, my mentor said, your picker is broken. If you continue to attract the same things that are not in alignment with where you're wanting to go, man in the mirror or woman in the mirror, we have to look at ourselves and say, okay, it's time to change a few things now. Otherwise, we're going to keep repeating this vicious, toxic, destructive, self-sabotaging cycle.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And it's hard. It's hard for people to do, but it's harder to stay the same. It
Wow.
is so much harder to stay the same than it is to change.
Kristen, I can't believe we turned the 30 minutes into an hour.
I can.
I'm like, dude, this is what happens. And you know what's funny? Health, wealth, relationships, confidence, communication. It's like I feel like we just exuded that, exuded that. But I do want to, for the last 5 minutes, Number one, um, I want to actually I want to do that. I want to do a rapid fire. I'm literally gonna
I can't
say.
help it. I get preachy. I get
Oh,
preachy
oh, it was.
when people
Oh,
are like, "Oh, you can do it. You can
I,
do
you
it."
know what's funny? The thing is about recordings. I'm pretty sure if we watch the replay, I probably talked way more than
Oh,
you. Like we have receipts. But let me do this. I'm gonna set. Let me see what we got: health, wealth, relationships, confidence, communications. Let's do 5 minutes. Let's do 60 seconds each on each topic. Okay. And what I want to do is just like quick to the gut of like just what's your number one thing that's working for you in each area or someone you heard: health, wealth, relationships, confidence, communication. Okay, we'll go in order. I'll start, and then that way you got time to think. Number one, health. For me, what's helping for me is literally intermittent fasting. I'm not the most disciplined person with my nutrition and my eating habits. I still got old school, traumatic. I got to eat a bunch of food, tendencies, and
mhm.
so it has worked for me because I'm so busy in the morning and I'm doing my spiritual practice that I don't literally get hungry until like noonish. So I'll eat, maybe some light stuff in the morning just to like, make sure I'm not famished. But like waiting till that first meal at noon has really been helping me. And then the other thing is just moving my body consistently. Like it's so much easier when I'm doing phone calls to do them while walking, especially if I got something to write with, than it is doing them while sitting. Okay. And I think a lot of people are moving towards that. So that's what's helping me in the area of health. What about you?
What's helping me is I'll speak for other women who are probably going through this. I'm 51 years old, so I'm in that process of things are changing. And coming from the fitness world, you get it stuck in your head that you got to walk around at 7% body fat all day long at age 51, and that's just not the case. So what's working for me is giving myself grace that I feel good. I feel
Mm,
strong. I'm in that gym. I mean, I love the gym. It's a fun thing. I walk, I do hot yoga. I eat very, very clean 90% of the time. However, I'm going to give myself grace that, what, if I want a slice of cauliflower pizza from time to time or a little piece of chocolate here and there, I'm going to allow myself to do that and not women, we have this body dysmorphia thing, especially if you've been an athlete or a dancer or a performer or fitness. Women get so caught up in that it's preventing them from shining. So just
mm,
what's working for me is just I'm strong. I just give myself grace. Like I don't
mm,
have to walk around shredded, but I would certainly never let myself go. You have to be healthy first and foremost above aesthetics. Because when your
mm,
body changes and your hormones are doing weird things, well, you're going to have a little time to adjust, and that's okay. That's okay.
mm. So good. Okay. All right. That was health. Wealth. What's helping me in the area of wealth is, I got to say, realizing health is wealth, because I would always be too busy, or I would minimize that. Like even yesterday, I got like was it yesterday? Yeah, I got like a massage in the long one. And it's like, to me, that's wealth. Like it's like
Mhm.
treating myself, taking care of myself. So that's number one. The other thing I would say in the wealth category is realizing what's the most valuable position for me to gain leverage in wealth. Like, for me, even in my consulting, like selling, I can help you get speeches is not the best way for me to build wealth utilizing my skill set. And it was a mentor of mine who always asked us the question of like, what's your greatest value and who's it the most valuable for? And so I'm like asking myself that question now at a deep level. Like, what's my greatest value and who's it the most valuable for? Because the same skill set to a speaker is worth less than it is to somebody who's running high level communications for $100 million company. Not just because they have a size of their company, but because the cost of the problem is more. Does that make sense? And so my ability to solve it is worth more to them. And so I'm learning that in this ecosystem. So for me, those two things are helping in the area of wealth. What about you?
I love this topic. And I hope whoever is listening, listen to this, okay? Because this changed the game and continues to change the game for me. As entrepreneurs, we often get caught in fast money. A client pays you and then we go and spend all of that money or whatever. So now I've made it a game to myself. If whatever income is coming in directly from clients, aka fast money, I always, first thing I do is go buy another income producing asset.
That's
Period.
good.
End of story. Whether it's real estate, whether it's something in the stock market, whether it's always something that's going to turn that money that I just
Mhm.
received from a client into more money.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because there have been times in my life, 2009 and 2020, where all of it got ripped out. So
Mhm.
I learned those things of if you are making money and
Mhm.
you're not turning that money into more money, we don't you might get trapped at some point. So this is never a good place to be. Trapped, lost, broke, stuck, fearful. Oh my gosh, I don't have anything. How do I start over again? No, no, no. No, no, no. We have to every time you receive, turn that fast money into medium money and slow money.
Mhm. Mhm.
Love that topic. And
Mm.
it's fun. It's a game.
Okay. Health, wealth, relationships. Number one thing that's working for me in relationships. Me and my wife been doing these walk and talks. That was a suggestion from some friends of ours, and um, man, it's been helping. I mean, we do these 90-minute walk and talks on Monday, and then we try to do a shorter one almost every day, and it's really, really been helping. And we've been doing these things on the walk and talks called decision-a-thons. And
I
there's
like that.
all these decisions that we've got to make based upon these conversations that we're having in the margins of people who are, coaching clients together, running events together, and being humans and married together. And it's like, all right, decision-a-thon. And it's literally how it gets on the docket is if we talked about it more than 3 times, it has to go on there. And then we get 3 minutes per decision. And then if it gets spicy and we can't come to a conclusion or a decision in 3 minutes, we set an additional 5 minutes to talk it out because there's usually a underlying conflict of why that decision isn't being made. So that has been working ton in the area of our relationships, both in between me and her, and then also in those that we're serving because the decisions that we're like stuck on a lot is directly connected to the people we're serving every day.
Mm.
So that's
I
for
love
me in relationships. What about you in relationships?
my number one thing that has helped me so much in relationships, no. I'll just keep it simple. No. Okay. Because I know my women are probably giggling right now because women to say yes to everything and everyone. And it's just brought so much more joy into my life to say no to certain things, people, places, whatever, and say yes to the ones that I love pouring into.
Oh my God.
That's just learning to say no. It's it took me a long time, but as we always say, serve them all and let God sort them out. And I'm here to help as many people as I can. However, just like you said, no coach can help someone that is not willing to help themselves. So I'm choosing to spend the time on my clients, my soon to be husband over here. We've done some really cool things as well in our relationship because 2 entrepreneurs in one house is a lot.
It is. It
As
is.
you know,
You know.
and we just give each other space and say no to other things that pull us in a different direction so we don't have our time together, and then saying yes to how can I help you, my clients, the new clients. Is like, yeah, let's do this, the ones that light you up, and the
Mhm,
versus the ones that drag you down. It's like, no, I'm just gonna say no.
mhm, 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 mhm. Love that. Oh, I want to say so much on that, but I can't. Let me just say this. I'm going to say this before I move to relationship because this is another tip. I wrote down, did you have a conversation about it? Question mark. And then I asked, what about another?
Yeah.
And the reason why I brought that up is because I've learned that conflict, and especially the one that we alluded to, growing together or growing apart. I would
Yeah.
say that's a big one and one of the most common ones in relational tension is
Yeah.
people who want to grow and move at a pace that the other people they're in a relationship are not. Okay, and to me, they say you either grow together or you grow apart, and
Yep.
too many people cut and leave before they have a conversation. And I just think it's immature. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think they can see
It's emotional.
I don't think they can see the picker.
Emotional.
The picker is broken until they
Yep.
have healthier conversation. I've been asking people before you cut and run. Did you have a conversation? Like, oh yeah, and did you have another? And to me, if you at least did that, and per scripture, you're actually supposed to bring somebody else in. But sometimes people are so afraid of truth, they won't let you bring somebody else in. But like at least if you had a conversation and tried to like get to the root of it, you gave that person the opportunity to like see where you're at and like come along the journey with you, or like resolve whatever's at the heat of the tension. So that's health, wealth, relationships. I'll give that as my communication tip. Okay, have the conversation. Read the book Crucial Conversations about conversations that are crucial. That's my tip in communication. What about you? What's working for you in the area of communication?
My greatest tip that I could ever give, which was actually given to me by Linda Hamilton, who happened to be one of my clients way back in the day, Terminator 2 lady. I'll never forget her saying this, and it always resonated. And I believe it comes from either Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn, one of them. But she said, it is better to understand before you are understood.
Mm.
So if someone is having a conflict, or if they are upset, or if they're confused or frustrated or angry, even
Mm-hmm.
pause, understand. Like I'm just going to share this. He might be on here live the other day. They're not. Okay. So DJ yesterday was really grumpy. Like, and he's not grumpy. He's like a golden retriever. He's always happy. He gets along with everybody and he's great. Okay. But yesterday he was so grumpy. And I finally called him out. I said, I don't know. I said, you're just being grumpy and I don't want to start my day grumpy. I said, what's up? Well, it turned out he was having allergies.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, honey, fair enough, but don't take it out on me. So, and of course he apologized, and I've done the same thing. If, certain things, when Kizzy was still alive, our dog, I was very stressed out. And yes, I would take certain things out on DJ that had nothing to do with DJ. I was just frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So understand where that person is at in their day, understand them before you are understood and you inject your little 2 cents. So that's a big one. And I just carry that with me. Stop, pause, understand before you are understood.
Health, wealth, relationships, communication. Last one, confidence. I'll let you go first on this one, and then I'll close this out. Well, first, why don't you go first, and then tell us about like what you got going. I know you said you got a new date for your next Make It Happen retreat, which I'm totally want to hear about, and then let us know what you're doing in the area of confidence to remain confident.
If I can help anybody make a quantum leap, it is simply this. I relate it back to when I was a kid, with gymnastics and dance and everything that you do as a kid. If you played sports, if you played instruments, if anything that you did as a kid. As we said at my last retreat, you're not going to get great legs doing one squat. And I know that this sounds so basic. Oh, you just got to put more reps in. Well, I'm going to add to this. You have to be willing to put reps in that are not so great, and then go back and look at the rep that wasn't so great and judge yourself in a nice way, constructive criticism, not so critical that you're beating yourself up, because congratulate yourself for putting the rep in the darn first place. Most people won't even put the rep in.
Don't even put
they won't even put the rep in, yet they're out chiming around of how this and that and the other. It's like, oh, come on, give me a break. So put the rep in, be willing to be honest with yourself and really look at the tape. Athletes look at tape all the time. Even the best of the best athletes still watch tape. And I think the biggest thing, Daryl, with confidence is, instead of having the script and reading the teleprompter and being all perfect with every single word, were you speaking to your audience confidently, truly, unauthentically from your heart? That is how you are going to be able to develop more confidence. When you can tell, when you are like, ooh, I was in the pocket right there. I could feel it through the camera, because it's hard to do it in front of camera. Could you feel yourself through the camera? And you'll start to recognize, oh, that was the confident self coming through, versus the reserved one that wants to get every single word perfect. And yeah.
Talk to us about Make It Happen retreat.
Oh, the next one?
Yeah.
I'm just still unpacking from the first one. So we decided for sure. I have promised my inner circle clients, of course, that part of that they get 3 retreats per year. So we are sticking to that. And the next one we have determined is going to be October 15th through the 18th.
Right.
To be determined, most likely in Florida, but possibly in Atlanta, somewhere in those. And this following retreat, we do 3 retreats per year, each a different theme, ironically, health, wealth, and relationships. So this final retreat of 2026 will all be around relationships, both personally and professionally, because it truly is the way to make a quantum leap, is the relationships that you keep and the relationships that you nurture.
Totally love that, man. And this past one was the wealth one, which is funny because it was so you had Ian Freeman and he freaking broke down the entire game, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm wait to see what the relationship one brings. Okay, cool. Let me give you my tip on my confidence. What's keeping me confident? I would just say it's kind of what we talked about in the beginning. It's just who we're surrounding ourselves with. I think I not think I know I'm such a prophetic futurist guy that
Visionary.
visionary, all the things, that sometimes I think I'm going crazy. Sometimes I'm like, am I tripping? Am I like fooling myself or am I like a genius? And it's like I really don't know sometimes. Like I'm not like just being what do you call it, rhetorical. And so, I was just thinking about this past Sunday. I brought up to our Bible study group and I was just like, like, am I tripping? Like am I tripping? Like y'all gotta tell me if I'm tripping because I see it. I think this is possible, but this is also really, really stupid. And this is not what I would even tell somebody else to do. But this is what I feel like I'm supposed to do. And then it was like, but this is fine. This works. This is like, there's nothing wrong with doing this. But I feel like, so before I go do something dumb, because there's times where I felt like right and I was wrong, you tell me. You tell me. And my confidence wanes when I'm questioning myself. And to have affirmation, like, no, actually, we get it. It is idiotic, but it sounds like that's what God's asking you to do. I'm like, oh, all right. Shouldn't have gave me that confidence. Now we go into war. Before I was double-minded. Now I'm single-minded. I'm focused. Okay.
Yes.
And so again, get around other people who can give you honest truth. Like I say, you gotta be around people who love you enough to tell you when your breath stink. That way, when they do, they'll go and tell you. Okay.
A good coach will tell you what you want to hear. A great coach will tell you what you need to hear. Lovingly,
right. But that's right.
It's the truth. Yeah.
So
and I'll just say, and I know you're going to plug it also, makeithappenretreat.com. Any updates going to be on there. And then for Daryl, go for it.
Oh, that's it. Feedinggreatnessretreats.com. Okay. So make it happen. Make it happen. You said retreat.com. Make it happen.
Makeithappenretreats.com. And mine is singular. Makeithappenretreat.com. Thank you. Look at that. Hey.
I forgot they put that up there. I was like, oh, there's a button somewhere.
That's awesome.
Love it, y'all. Make it happen retreats, Feeding Greatness retreats. Get in there. Get in there. It matters who you're around. It matters if people see you or not. Anybody can sell to you, but can people see you? Because I like sell to me, but sell to me if you can see me. Okay. And these are environments where you're seen, you're supported, you're connected. And man, I'm learning to value the intimate spaces so much more than even the larger ones I'm in. And I like it all. I like variety. Okay. I'm not, so when they see me at the bigger stuff, I don't want them to be like, I thought you said, I'm like, nope, I'm everywhere. Okay. I'm doing it all. All right. Out here making it happen. So y'all, this is Make It Happen Monday. Till next time, just remember, go out there and make it happen. We know you're doing it. We love you. Again, a happy Memorial Day. Spend time with your family. Cherish the gift of life because we only get it. And tomorrow literally is not promised. We do not have as much time as we think we do. And I pray that we all live as long as possible, as much as we're supposed to, And I also know that could be, we could be going any moment. Nobody thought Kobe Bryant wouldn't be here. Nobody thought some of the people that we've lost wouldn't be here. There's one of my friends just lost somebody close to them today. We
Mm.
just do not know. And so take your life seriously. If today was your last, who would you text to say you love? What would you launch and take off ideating? What would you say that you haven't said? What would you resolve and forgive that you just hadn't resolved and forgive? Because that is what we hope you go out there and make it happen. All right. See you. Love you. Peace.
Love you.
Man.